Alright, welcome everyone. This is part 4 to possible dwarf star conspiracy. There is a lot of information that is going to be really hard to cover in this 12-15 minutes that I'm going to try to do this in, so please bear with me. Alright, and it could get a little complicated. Okay, it's even somewhat complicated to me. I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can. Alright. Okay, so I think the basis of the whole thing is that there's a possible conspiracy concerning this dwarf star, which is connected to Nibiru, which is also known as Planet X. Okay, which is what I left off talking about this thing, this symbol there, as saying there's that planet of crossing symbol. But I was telling you that I don't think that that's what this symbol is telling you. I don't think that this symbol is telling you, hey, I'm Planet X, I'm where the Anunnaki come from. Let's talk about the Anunnaki real quick. The Anunnaki is a Sumerian term. Alright, it literally translates, those from heaven to earth they came. Alright? But I translated, those from heaven to earth they fell, which directly ties them up with the passages in the Hebrew Bible which talk about a war taking place in heaven and a third of the angels being cast to the ground. And I know some of you scoff at that and you think, oh, the Bible. Well, you're wrong to do that. You really are, okay, because it all makes a lot of sense and you cannot deny the parallel here, my friend. So why would they want you to believe, okay, instead of showing you this timeline that we're talking about, why would they want you to believe that this was Planet X, a symbol for Planet X, alright, the planet of crossing, which orbits the dwarf star? If any of you don't know that this dwarf star has its planetary family that orbits around it, alright, it is a sun with other planets that orbit. So Nibiru is one of these planets that orbits it. And if you know the ancient Sumerian legends state, or the mythology state, or the history, that these beings come from there. And they don't, alright? They don't. Whether you want to believe it or not, they don't. So they want you to believe that they come from there so they can disassociate themselves with these passages or these scriptural works that claim that they are the fallen ones. So if they can get everybody to believe that they come from another planet and that they're just, flying around looking for some gold, because that is, if you know the legend, that's why they want to come here, is because of gold. Malarkey. And I'll tell you that on another video why that's major malarkey. They want gold, but that didn't happen until after they got here. Alright? So if they can get you to believe that they come from this Planet X, that takes them out of the whole biblical scheme of things, and you don't believe in a creator any longer other than them, and they're your creators and all that other kind of stuff. So, but I'm not telling you right now that this symbol isn't valid. It is. This Planet X symbol is valid. Alright? I'm just trying to tell you that they're exchanging its meaning. Alright? I want you to see this as a time clock. If I told you that we're right here, right now, because we have already completed this whole 104,000 year cycle, alright, and returned us to this point right here. If you were to turn this like this, it's telling you that you're right here at about 10,500 BC. That's what it's telling you. Now, if you remember, now isn't that interesting? Let's not get away from that so quick. That if you were to half this, and that's roughly half of what this is, so that puts us right here. So if we were to go about 12,500 years, plus some extra change, but remember, we're talking big expanses of time here, so that puts us right there in the middle. Remember that the Sphinx's gaze is exactly at around 10,500 BC. So from 0 year 10,500 BC, from 0 year plus the 2,000 to us is 12,500 years. So if we go back and turn the clock, boom, 12,500, we get a relevance of this symbol for stating the beginning of the Egyptian civilization at this point in time right here. That's what I believe the symbol is saying. Okay? Now this lines up with all the mainstream archaeologists who say, okay, I don't believe, not the mainstream, but the fringe. I don't believe what the mainstream archaeologists are saying. Okay? Zaha Hawis, alright, if that's how you pronounce it. With the dates from 3 to 5,000 BC, anywhere in there. Okay, more malarkey. Alright? So the fringe say that because the Sphinx gazes at his own constellation at 10,500 BC, that's probably the logical answer for when it was created. So as you can see, that this clock, my friends, this symbol, which has given us this great orbital path, is saying just that. It's saying just that. It's saying that at this time, from between here and here, of one of these 25,625 year periods, is when the start of this civilization was. Now, if we were to go back to here, we're going to find out that it's the constellation of Leo. 10,500, we're smack dab in the constellation of Leo, smack dab in the constellation of Leo. Alright? Now, let me bring you back to score here. Now, the fringe archaeologists say that, now remember, it's the only reason really why they say that it starts then. They know it's old. And evidence even says older. Well, I'm going to go with the older evidence. Okay? Now check this out. This is going to show you that this symbol is absolutely valid because I'm going to make it, it's going to line up in two places and still tell you the same thing, this. So I'm telling you that that's really what this is saying. That it's not telling you the planet of crossing. It is an astronomical time clock that is symbolizing these events from these points to here and where we are until we get to these points to here. Now they are concerned with these scales of time. Not for the same reasons we are, and I told you it's because of this great judgment situation. Alright? But let's get back to this situation here. Now, let's go 12,500 years, and we're going to roughly be right here in the middle in the age of Leo, where the fringe archaeologists say that Egypt could have possibly been created. Ancient Egypt, the Nile Valley, with those 3 special pyramids and the Sphinx. Okay? Right about that time. Well, my friends, let's go to the next Leo back. The next Leo back would have to be, alright, this is the world age chart, right? Okay, the next Leo back would have to be one full round of these world ages, alright, which is going to put us right, boom, smack dab in the middle again. You see that? You see that? That's the age of Leo again. All we did was complete a whole nother great year cycle from Leo. So from Leo to Leo, it's 25,625 years. So here we are at the age of Leo again. Boom. There's the symbol again. Is that making sense? So the Urantia says that the Egyptian civilization started at about 35,000 BC. Alright, now let me do the math for you and show you that this is right at about 35,000 BC, unbelievably. Which takes away the credit for this being the planet X. They're just covering up something because they don't want you to know how far back this really goes, because then they have to give credits to ancient civilizations which are telling you the truth of the matter in stone, and they have to cover that up. So let me read this so that you understand it a little better here. From 2012, where we are right here, back 10,500 BC. Now remember, we got to add that 2,000 from year 0 to get there, which gives us at 12,500. So from 2012 back to 10,500 BC, we have possibly the start of the Egyptian civilization, which is what I'm telling you is what that symbol is saying to you right there. Alright? But I'm also going to tell you that I think that it's really right here at 35,000, 36,000 BC. And they're trying to deny you that of understanding it and giving you this planet X, which is planning this idea for a future event, my friends, which we are in right now. So some 35,000 plus years ago, they have started this conspiracy. You don't see that? I hope you're beginning to. So let me read this again. From 2012, alright, which would be where we are right now at this great lineup, from 2012 back, is at 10,500 BC. We have possibly the start of the Egyptian culture because the Sphinx's gaze was lined up with its own constellation, Leo, at this time. Okay? So our symbol would look like that. That's what they would basically be trying to tell you. So this symbol is associated with the beginning of Egyptian culture, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right? So now that you know we're right here, possibly, well, remember the Urantia says, and there's a lot of other evidence that says it's even way older. So we have to still go back with Leo, right? So let's go back another 25,625 years to the next Leo, and it puts us right there at the exact same position again for that X symbol. Do you see that? How could that possibly line up like that? This is what the symbol is telling you. And remember, we see the same symbol like this with the wings on it also, which is denoting a time of an earlier lineup. All right? Or quite possibly one of these smaller lineups, to tell you the truth. I can't be definitive on that. So, incredibly. So let me read something to you here, in which I probably need to finish reading this to you because I haven't done. So bear with me, okay? From 2012 back to 10,500 BC, we have possibly the start of the Egyptian culture because the Sphinx's gaze lines up with its constellation at this time. All right? And our symbol would look like that. Bam. But as I told you, the Urantia book says 35,000 for the start, circa, because they round to that number, for the start of the Egyptian civilization. All right? So if we add another whole precessional cycle, which is all 12 signs of the zodiac, to get back to Leo, it puts us in the same spot. Back to there. So I don't think that symbol is telling you Planet X, my friends, at all. At all. And they're using it. They're using it to beguile you. So if we add another 25,625 year increment, okay, to the date of our 10,500 year increment, we end up here. Okay, we get the exact same symbol, and it's the constellation of the Leo lineup. So quite possibly by this symbol here, which I'm telling you, we can prove that the Egyptian civilization, and that's what this is telling you, that the Egyptian civilization started at around 35,000 BC. Wow. Unreal. And it has nothing to do with the Planet X. Nothing to do with it. Alright, let me read you some biblical, or actually let me read you another little thing here real quick. Alright, I pulled this right off of Google, and basically I Googled the planet of crossing, I think is what I punched in, and I got a bunch of sites, and I picked one that looked like it was really informative, alright, just kind of blindly. Listen to what this says here, okay? Central to the religious beliefs and astronomy of the ancient world remained within the solar system, and that's its grand orbit, returned it periodically to Earth's vicinity. The pictograph sign for the 12th planet, the planet of crossing, was a cross, okay, which also meant divine, also evolved into the Semitic languages to the letter Tav, and they say T-A-V, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, which meant the sign. Are you hearing that? Let's draw parallels to our symbol. Now they're drawing parallels to this symbol meaning, or this cross symbol actually now, as meaning Planet X, okay? They're going to say that it is representing the grand orbit. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying it represents, the grand orbit, the greater year. They're going to say that it represents the symbol for the cross. I'm saying that this cross is here because it's dividing equally these four 25,625 year periods. And then they're saying that it means divine. Well, I'm telling you it's divine because we're coming back to the cosmic center. And then they say it stems into the Semitic language.